and welcome to another episode of the Pig City Podcast. We are your host here today, and it's been a up and down season with a very fun weekend this past weekend of NFL football. But Alexander, we're in the double digits. This is the Week 10 preview. Where's our mindset at, buddy?
I mean, I got to be better at my Pig City picks of the week. That's like 2 times this year I've went 0 for 3 on them. That's not a good look. Not a good look. Got to be better than that.
Yeah, well,
I think I finally fell below 500 too.
You could be like me where you, sorry, my bad. You could be like me where you're not going 0 and 3, but you're still not really doing much. So I don't. At least your bad is really bad. Also, apologies for the dog noise. She is on one tonight, so if you see, well, the door's actually already open, but you might hear some whining and barking. So shouts out to.
I will say lately though, my primetime picks I feel very locked in on.
Well, yeah, you're Mr. Primetime. People saw the label last time. They already know what it is. And so, Alexander, the good news for that, technically this first game we're going to discuss does fall into the primetime picks. The international picks are back. Sunday morning football, East Coast time, 9:30 in the morning. I'm not excited about it, to be honest with you. I don't like it. Whether I'm gone and not watching or if I'm up and watching, it just has not been an enjoyable experience one time this year. Some of that's fantasy related. Some of it's just bad football, really messy. And in this first matchup, Alexander, we have the Atlanta Falcons coming off a pretty disappointing game. They can't get anything going on the ground. Just Drake London catches every pass, but they can't make extra points. Kicker's out. The curse of Koo remains. Taking on the Indianapolis Colts, who laid their first egg of the season. Daniel Jones having 4 turnovers. But the Colts, they were so not wanting to talk about that last game, they go and trade multiple first-round picks, get Sauce Gardner, bring him onto the defense. When their secondary is healthy, now they're going to be one of the highest paid and maybe most talented groups. This Colts team just felt like a situation where I believe they are a good team, despite what I thought about them before the year started. They are a good team. I think the Falcons are a good, bad team, and the Colts are going to absolutely throttle them, except for the international aspect is the only thing that scares me. But I'm on the Colts. It's 6.5-point favorites. I'm riding with the Colts.
Yeah, I'm riding with the Colts in this one at 6.5. I mean, I don't see Jonathan Taylor just kind of not really having an impact back-to-back weeks. Like, I will say, maybe people found a way to beat him after seeing that last week. Like, hey, take Jonathan Taylor out of the game, they can't beat you. So there might be a little something out there, and I guess, I mean, Atlanta's got a smart enough of a coach that I believe that he should be able to see that, and then they're going to try to do it, so we'd be able to kind of see, but I don't know. They were in that game with New England. It wasn't their best offensive game at times, but they were still in it. It was just Atlanta being Atlanta is why they lost that game. But, yeah, I don't see in doing that back-to-back weeks. And I get 6.5 could be a big line against a team like Atlanta, but I like it. I'm riding the 6.5. I just believe in the Colts too much.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter if they're going to win or not. It really is the line, but I think because of how the Colts were feeling and now how they currently feel, Sauce going to play this week, like short week travel overseas?
I think he'll play. It's just a matter of how much.
I mean, what I'm
like
saying
it might be the base package is what he is out there in type stuff.
Dude, just say go guard London, and other than that, what are the Falcons going to do throwing the ball? I'm just not a big Penix fan, to be honest. But that is our Sunday morning pick. All right, everybody, it is Week 10. Week 10 of the NFL. I can't believe it. We're already here. We're going to start off with our Pig City picks of the week. Alexander, I'll let you decide if you want to go first or not. I think we have an overlapping pick this week. One, I don't know if you want to start there or not, but yeah, let's pick our 3 most confident picks from this 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock slate. Let's get back to our winning ways. You're under 500 here. I'm barely floating above on our Sunday picks. Let's do it. Let's have a clean sweep for Pig City this week. Let's go 5-0, 6-0. I think that we do have one overlap.
So the one overlapping then? Because I'm pretty sure it's the one I have first on mine, which is Detroit taking on Washington. Detroit is 7.5-point favorites, and Washington's without Jaden Daniels. Detroit just last week was a tough one for them. But that's a divisional game. They're going to be tough. Divisional games always are tough. I don't know why. I still haven't figured that out yet, as much as I've watched football. A divisional opponent at times can be on a level of another team that you throttle, but because it's a divisional opponent, somehow it's close. It just makes no sense to me. But I do expect Detroit to get right in this one against Washington. I don't think Washington's a good team. I think with Daniels now getting hurt, I expect the wheels to start falling off there, and they'll probably start collapsing on themselves, and that's why I think Detroit can easily cover 7.5.
Yeah, 100% agree. And yes, this was the one I wanted to make sure that you had picked as well. I'm with the Lions. I don't care. 7.5. At one point, I saw 9.5, so it feels like I'm still in points here. Here's the thing. Two things. If Jaden Daniels was playing, I'm still taking the exact same side. If the Lions had won last week in a blowout, I'm probably still taking the same side. But Dan Campbell coming off a loss, in his post-game press conference, you hear him say, I didn't have the team ready after a bye. I would not want to be the next team he's facing when he's saying he didn't have them ready for their last game. I think Detroit is going to assert their dominance, and it's going to be one of those times where Monday, Tuesday, we're going to be talking again about, the Lions are back. They had a little lull, but they're still the Lions. This is Dan Campbell. You want to play for him. He makes you run through a wall, and they're going to be running through the wall. And I'm going to do something dangerous, Alexander. I'm back in it. I'm back in making a little touchdown on the side. Give me St. Brown finding the end zone. They don't have anybody to guard a receiver.
I like that. Yeah, my next Pick City pick of the week is going to be between the matchup of Jacksonville taking on Houston. Houston without Stroud is 1.5 point favorites. The time we're doing this, that's mind blowing to me. I mean, Houston at this point, I'm convinced, has paid Vegas to just put them at favorites at 1.5. It just works for them, so they want to be that. But with saying all that, give me Jacksonville. Y'all know I'm not a full believer in Jacksonville, but I think Houston without Stroud, it's not going to be that great. I get Davis Mills has experience being a backup, but I expect Jacksonville to come in here and win.
Shouts out Jimmy. He just told me the games you picked. I never thought in a million years. Wow. The reason it's 1.5 is because the Texans' defense is incredible. And if Davis Mills just takes care of the ball, they're going to be in this game. I mean, the Jaguars relatively got lucky that the Raiders didn't beat them. And now Brian Thomas might not be playing. Travis Hunter's out. I don't know. This felt like a situation where you were going to go Houston, and I was going to caution you if it seemed too easy, but I don't think Davis Mills is that bad. I'm staying away from that one, but I don't love that pick from you, especially because I feel like you're trying to. You fell below 500, so I feel like you're going against yourself. Did you hate the Jags? Are you sure you want to stick with that?
Yes, I'm sticking with it.
All right. Respect, I guess. Holy cow. All right, we're off to a start here, boys. All right, I'm going to go with a team that we talked about in the earlier part of the preview that they faced last week. And that was the Atlanta Falcons playing the Patriots. Well, this week, the Patriots, after escaping with a narrow win, they are traveling to Tampa Bay, where Tampa Bay, coming off a bye, is 2.5 point favorites. Now, you know the storylines, Alexander. The Patriots are my prized possession of the preseason. It's the only thing I've hung my hat on that I feel like I was right about, and I started to get off of them early on, and then Christian Gonzalez said, hey, I make this defense better. I think he's fine. Drake London kind of destroyed him in that game. Literally, like, jumped on top of the guy. But with all that being said, I'm a little nervous about my pick simply because the Patriots just won kind of a crappy game, and I think you have to do that sometimes in the NFL. This is a schedule game, Alexander. The Patriots' upcoming schedule. For the next, 7 weeks, they're probably going to be a favorite in, 5 of them. They're not winning this game. They're not winning that many games in a row. And the Bucs coming off the bye, they got to get back to what they're doing. Baker getting MVP talk. 2 kind of iffy games before they have a break. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit more healthy on offense. I love the Bucs in this one. Not anti-Patriots, but this is a schedule game. This is the Bucs saying, hey, Panthers, we know you have a winning record. This is our division. Love, love, love Tampa Bay in this game.
I will say that you were very high on Tampa Bay, though. Probably higher than you were on New England.
True. That's also they're going to win their division no matter what.
Is Bucky playing this week?
The only reports that I have so far, he has not been seen in open parts of practice, which means very questionable if he'll be playing or not. Given they still think they're making the playoffs and going to win the division, probably not fighting for the 1 seed realistically. I doubt they rush him back. I'm going to bet that he does not play. I think they would just rather have him in a full capacity. It's not like they've struggled running the ball. He obviously provides more juice than Tucker or White, but I think they'll be okay without him, and I think they'll play it safe.
Is Abuka back to basically close to 100% this week?
Yeah, I mean, we saw he played last game, and it maybe didn't seem 100% right, but he played the whole game, and now he's had 2 weeks, so he's fine. You know what? Thanks for bringing him up. Add him to the list. St. Brown and Ibuka. I want to do it. I want to.
But yeah, just speaking on that, I do think if you're Tampa, this feels like a very must, like, you got to win this game. Where if you're New England, your schedule does get extremely easy after this. So, but I do think it's going to be a very close game, and I think it'll be a fun one to watch. But if you're telling me it's going to come down to Baker Mayfield having to win them the game, I trust Baker to win them the game.
Yeah, but what if it comes down to Drake May having to win the game?
Well, he'll probably have it won, and then New England will somehow let Baker march down and get in field goal range, kick field goal to win it.
No, I don't think so. I think I don't see the game playing out that way. I think Tampa Bay controls it. I really do.
Okay.
Because if you start to tell me it's close and I'm starting to think about Drake May, I'm not going against the guy. Sorry, Baker. Call me a hater if you want, but it's crazy. I'm such a believer in the Bucks, and Baker's a huge part of that. But individually, I still. All right, it's fine. Let's just say Drake May over Baker. Can we agree on that? Okay, thank goodness.
No.
Sorry, Bucks fans. All right,
I don't know. I think Baker's better than Drake right now, but I think Drake's ceiling is way higher.
Better at what?
I don't know. He's just a leader, bro. He can get the boys to fight.
Yeah, Drake May had some pretty sloppy fumbles last game. I'll say that.
Yeah. All right, my last Pick City pick of the week. I'm going to be honest with you. This one's risky, boys. This one is risky. It's Cleveland, 2.5-point favorites taking on the Jets. I know what you're thinking. He's surely going Cleveland. The Jets just sold basically everybody of talent on their defense. No, give me the Jets, bro. Breece Hall. Basically, you're telling me to trust in Dylan Gabriel or Breece Hall. I'm going to trust in Breece Hall to lead this Jets team to a victory over Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is awful. He shouldn't be starting quarterback right now in Cleveland. I don't believe in his future, and I think it's going to show in a game like this where he should win it, and he's going to choke and not do enough on offense. Cleveland's defense is going to keep him in it, but Dylan Gabriel will probably choke it away. So give me the Jets.
I mean, I'm not surprised that you picked them. You love the Jets.
Also, this is probably the last time I'm picking the Jets this year, so...
I mean, it might be the last time you could pick Cleveland unless it's just to cover a big spread. Look, Cleveland being a favorite on the road is whatever. I don't really know about the road or not. The Jets obviously don't care about their defense. To your point, I don't like Dylan Gabriel at all. I agree with everything you said about him. I'll cut out the profanity you said, but I agree with you on how bad of a quarterback he is. But I am not mad at you picking the Jets in this game. I'm mad that you picked this game at all. Look at this slate. There's some good, and that's what you okay. Respect, man. Hey, you gotta do what you can.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta change it up when you're went 0-3 the week before.
Yeah,
you gotta change stuff up.
Like you're picking the Jags, so you're like, oh, I'll still just stick with the Jets, I guess. One thing I do like about your picks that I don't like about mine is I am picking all favorites this week as I get to my last matchup, and that is the New York Giants taking on the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears 3.5-point favorites, and I am indeed, of course, going with the Bears. Now, Alexander, last week we saw the Bears defense, and we saw how susceptible they are to just giving up points after points after points with Flacco, with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, the whole gang. But we also saw the offense, and we saw Ben Johnson able to just dial it up, sling it. And again, I understand. Everybody in the comments is already mad. The Giants' defense is so much better than the Bengals. Then why are the Bears a 3.5-point favorite? If Jackson Dart is really this prodigy and this wonderful guy and all these things are great and this defense is really good, it's formidable, and Dable, he's a really good coach. Really good coaches win. He doesn't win. Can we stop with the narrative that Brian Dable's a good coach? Maybe he's very smart about football. Whatever it takes to be a good coach should equate to winning at some point. I've never seen a head coach get more excuses and more praise. And again, now he's just all on the Jackson Dart train and he's attaching to him. That's fine. That's good. I'm not hating on Jackson Dart. Truthfully, liked him. I hate the Giants drafted him to begin with. But regardless, this is not a winning franchise anymore. Things aren't going well. And yes, you could say all those same things about the Bears, except for they're 3.5-point favorites after squeaking out a really crazy win. If I asked you to guess this line, I bet you wouldn't have picked the Bears 3.5. I'm trusting the data. I'm trusting it. I'm riding with the Bears until they let me down. I'm not hating on this team anymore. Give me the Bears. The Giants are terrible. Dable will never be successful. Clip that.
Yeah, I'm completely the other way on this game. I like the Giants in this game, and I just don't trust the Bears to handle a game like this. I mean, we saw last week, and you touched on it, the Giants' defense is better than the Bengals' defense. One of the Bengals players literally, like, after the game, it's one of the players on the field. He goes, yeah, like, we just lined up in the wrong formation. Like, half the guys didn't even know the play.
Did you see that for their field goal? Because they didn't stop the clock and now they kicked it with a quarterback ball because they couldn't swap it when they missed.
Yeah, that's why it was so short. Like, dude, when it was so short, I was like, dude, this guy's never like this short. Like, this is in his range. Like, was it just a bad snap? Like, what the heck happened? No, apparently it was just the quarterback ball instead of the kicking ball.
Yeah, which shows.
I mean, the fact that those balls just between that makes that big of a difference, that's insane to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that or not, to be honest. I mean, New York fan, I get it. It's fine. No, you're just a Bears hater, and that's actually a fact. All right.
I guess it is a fact at this point.
That was my final pick. I got the Bears 3.5 against the Giants, Bucks 2.5 against the Patriots, and the Lions 7.5 against Washington. Will you recall your three real quick?
I have Detroit 7.5 against Washington. Give me Jacksonville at plus 1.5 against Houston, and give me the Jets at plus 2.5 against the Brownies.
I'm assuming that's Justin Fields starting in your mind.
It don't matter. Fields or Tyrod's winning that game.
Browns struggle more against the pass than the run, so I actually don't know who they play. But anyways, Alexander, let's get to the rest of this slate. Actually, some pretty enticing matchups, but not the first one, and that is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Dolphins. Bills 9.5-point favorites. Kind of surprised neither of us went with them. Bills coming off a huge win against the Chiefs. We saw when these teams matched up last time. McDaniel, still the head coach, had a great game plan for keeping the Dolphins in the game, and if they just could have converted a couple more times and avoided the turnover, they were right in that game with the Bills. But I don't know. I think this is a game where the Bills just show they're the superior team, and the Dolphins just continue to expose their deficiencies.
I think Bills win, but I could see a world where Miami covers 9.5. So I stayed away.
All right. We now have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are 5.5-point favorites. I think they've been underdog in every game this season. They have a winning record, so respect where respect is due. Listen, it's hard to win in the NFL, and through 9 weeks in the NFL season, the Panthers have a winning record. So I wouldn't have thought that. You wouldn't have thought that. It doesn't make me believe in them anymore, really. It just makes me think they're not as bad as some teams, and this week they face one of those teams, and that is the Saints. They are at home. This feels like a classic, like there might be people starting to say, Panthers, huh? And then they lose to the Saints. I do think the Panthers win, but I just, this is about who you trust less, I guess.
I stayed away from this one just because it's a divisional matchup, and I feel like you kind of touched on it. Anything can happen. The Saints could easily go in there and cover 5.5. Could easily go in there and win. So yeah, I just didn't want any part of that.
I am actually kind of happy to watch Tyler Shuck again, because I really don't know how I feel about him at all. And ultimately, just playing in games is the best way to see it. And last game against the Rams, he basically never had the ball. The Rams just kept the ball. And I don't think the Panthers are capable of doing that, although I guess Rico could have a good day. All right, Alexander, Baltimore Ravens. Lamar is back. The division is open. The Steelers having a huge win last week, maybe a little deflating to Ravens fans, but the Ravens 3.5-point favorites going into Minnesota. I actually don't really have a good reason for why I picked this other than the Vikings. If Flores has a good game plan, they look amazing. And last game they did against the Lions. We saw that. I don't think that's the case with the Ravens. I really like the Ravens a lot in this. Ravens defense sneakily been pretty good. Also, Ravens schedule is about to get a lot easier for those of you to keep up with that kind of thing. I like the Ravens a lot in this. I'm excited to see them get more to full health. I want to see what the Ravens do in short yardage situations, because Derrick Henry just can't do it anymore. And they just keep getting stuffed and short, and it's bad. But like, those are the opportunities where the Ravens go from like okay to good to great really quickly when they start converting.
Yeah, I actually really like Baltimore in this one as well, but it felt like a trap game, so I just stayed away.
I mean, the Vikings look really good. Like, J.J. McCarthy also, this was not my original thing. I think this is Big Cat, shout out, part of my take. He brought up a stat that J.J. McCarthy in his 2 wins in the NFL so far were on the road divisional games, and he had an identical stat line in both, like in every way. It was really just a random thing. But he didn't have to do a ton is the point, and they didn't even run the ball well. Their defense it can be so good. It's really weird. But yeah, I'm excited to watch this game. I'll say that. It's a weird combination of like 2 purple teams that I feel like I don't really picture playing each other. Like, there's not another purple in the NFL, right? Am I crazy?
I don't think there is.
Yeah. So battle of the purples. I don't know. Yeah, that'll be exciting. All right, another divisional matchup: NFC West, Arizona, Seattle. Seattle 6.5. Again, we don't have to really pick the spread, but this Seattle team, Alexander, I'm seeing, and again, it's clickbait, it's YouTube headlines. I get it. I understand the game. Are the Seahawks a favorite to win the Super Bowl? Should we be taking Seattle seriously as the true NFC contender? I'm serious. Type in Seahawks in your search engine. That's all you're seeing. And I get it. Really good defense. Trusting Darnold. They make a trade for Shaheed. He's going to have some big plays. JSN's on pace for over 2,000 yards. Their backfield is frustrating for fantasy owners, but they don't really seem to care. It's just, hey, we're going to run the ball well enough, and Darnold's going to make the big plays, not mess it up. The Seattle team looks clicking. Meanwhile, Arizona, since Kyler Murray to the IR, Jacoby Brissett starting quarterback, offense has looked a lot better, but they still lost 2 of the games that they could have won regardless. They just can't win close games. They just keep losing and losing and losing close games. So I guess it doesn't matter if this one's going to be close or not, but I don't know what to think about this game. I think I want to watch this game for one main fact. At the end, I'm going to feel very strongly about Seattle one way or the other. They take care of business and just handle them, I'm in. They struggle, I'm like, I don't care divisional or not. Like, to me, this is a Seattle prove yourself game.
Yeah, I saw this one and it felt like a line where Arizona could easily like cover that 6.5, especially with the way Brissett's had the offense looking. It's a divisional game, so I just didn't like that big of a line in a divisional game.
Yeah. Seattle does have
but I do like Seattle in this game.
Yeah, they have a few injuries on defense, maybe a little concerned, but I don't know, man. Admittedly, I'm wrong about Seattle overall. They're better than I thought they were, but this is going to be a game I'm very excited just to kind of watch and see what I think. All right, Alexander, to close out the 4 o'clock window is the same division, and that is the NFC West. The Rams going to San Fran. Rams 3.5-point road favorites. West Coast matchup, obviously. The 40, one of the crazier seasons. Like, if they win their division, like, Shanahan's probably going to be coach of the year because they just have had a plethora of injuries at every position every week except for one, their running back. He avoided MetLife last week. We saw Brian Robinson get some extra touches. They were scared of it. They were scared of the field. Great call by you, but maybe it's the after effect and the next week it happens. Stafford, 21-2 touchdown interception ratio. I mean, he's throwing at the goal line. They look like they're doing whatever they want. They lost to the Eagles this year. We blocked 2 kicks against them. Like, this is a team that's just very, very good, well-rounded, solid team. Against a San Fran team that feels like they're just kind of like, hey, can we just make it to the postseason and maybe everybody can play a game? I love the 49ers in this game, I'll be honest with you. And that's why I didn't pick it, because it just, everything points Rams. Any way you want to look at it, except for Shanahan and McVay. And you can look at their records and say, well, yeah, of course, it doesn't matter because the Rams are better this year. I love the 49ers in this game. Not enough to pick them, but I think this is a letdown spot for the Rams.
I feel the same way.
Dang it. Should I let you go first on that?
I really feel like San Fran, I like them a lot in this game. And exactly what you said. It felt like I didn't pick it because it's like picking against a Rams team that could easily make me look like a dummy real quick. But I will say, I do think there's a very good chance to this point this might be Stafford's worst game of the season. And he probably throws an interception this game.
Yeah, I don't know what is happening in the 49ers receiver room either. But they just go out there and play. I mean, we don't even know who their quarterback is this week. Like, I don't think the line really moves no matter who it is. That's the weird part. Like, I've never seen more of a team that's just like logo, uniform, coach. Every week is just similar. It's weird. I don't know. If the Rams just dominate this, I'm going to be struggling next week with picks because I'm going to start just picking all the best teams again. Because this year's been too weird. This feels like a game where you go San Fran. Maybe you don't even watch it. You put it off to the side, like while you're helping your wife or something. I don't have a wife. While you're helping your wife stuff around the house, and you're just like, every so often you just look over, you're like, huh, San Fran's still in it. Nice. because it's going to be ugly if you do pick San Fran. Just stay away from it. Enjoy it. All right, that wraps up our Sunday picks. What's up, everybody? Thank you for those of you that watched the full pod. For those of you tuning in for the Sunday night pick, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off their win of the year, and they are headed to the West Coast to face the Chargers. The Chargers 3-point favorites with missing 2 huge pieces on the offensive line, having to face this Steelers team that was responsible for making Daniel Jones, who went from MVP talks to Daniel Jones talks, if you know what I mean, last week. The Steelers are just the Steelers. And Mike Tomlin, everything that is said positive about him in games like that are just so evident, where it's like every single person on that team knew they were winning that game. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback who's getting the ball out in the red zone. I mean, given he's throwing the ball, they're not even ready for it sometimes. But they feel different. The Steelers team starts to feel different. As soon as you count them out, they win. Alexander, please talk about this game, because you know where my heart is, but I don't even know what way you went. I hate having to pick a game or a side on this, because this game, I feel like if you could get like a game script sent to you before, this has about 12 different versions of it.
I actually am taking Pittsburgh to cover the 3 points against the Chargers. You kind of touched on it. Chargers are missing very key pieces on that offensive line. We saw it at the beginning of the year when stuff kind of got a little shaky at times, was when their offensive line wasn't fully healthy. Pittsburgh their defense isn't like as elite as it should be for like the players they have, but I do think their defense is still very good, and I think they're going to give Herbert some fits, and they're going to be able to shut down that run game for sure. So that's partially why I like Pittsburgh in this one. And then I just think Rodgers is going to come through. I mean, he can't lose another primetime game this year, right?
Look, I'm on the Chargers, so I'm the wrong one to ask. I don't know how much of this is picking with my heart. I love Herbert. I want the Chargers to still be in it. They're dealing with injuries. They make a trade for Penning from the Saints. Bad guy. But I like Keenan Allen to score in this one. I'll say that. This feels like a game where the Steelers are not going to let themselves get beat deep. I think Jalen Ramsey's still basically going to play safety for this game, just hitting people. He's just laying smacks on people.
Dude, he might have just revitalized his career by making a move to safety.
And the Steelers, they have that where it's like they believe they're going to dominate, and I love that. But I'm picking Justin Herbert in this game. I'm picking Harbaugh versus Tomlin. I don't feel great confidence in it because I know that this may be more my heart than my brain. But I like the Chargers a lot, and I want them to win. But in this specific matchup, like I said, I don't know how this game's going to go. This might be one of those. You know what? I'll give you another prop. Take the Herbert over on rushing. Okay, he's going to remind people how athletic he is, how much he can run. So whatever that line is at, take the over. If you want to set your own, he's rushing for 50 plus. Put it on there.
Guaranteed. 50 plus. Holy crap.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
And he guaranteed it. Whew. Yeah. Double guaranteed it.
All right. No. Any other thoughts on Steelers Chargers, Alexander? All right, that was a Sunday night pick. All right, everybody, it is time for the Week 10 Monday night pick. And you're here with 2 Eagles fans. There's no debate about what side I'm on. As a road dog going to Green Bay, 2.5-point dogs. It's Lambeau. It's going to be cold. We might see a little precipitation, some white flakes coming down. But you know what we're also going to see? We're going to see the Eagles flexing on everybody and reminding people who are forgetting how great and talented this team is. Because, it's all about the tush push. It's all about that. All the haters are going to be tuned in Monday night. College basketball's back, sure. NBA, nobody cares. Everybody's going to be watching. Well, probably not, because nobody can watch these games anymore because TV disputes. But that's another topic for another day. But Alexander, I love the Eagles in this. The only concern that I'm seeing from any Eagles fans or any pundits across the way is the Packers coming off an embarrassing loss to the Panthers. How do they respond? And to that I say, the Eagles wouldn't have lost that game to the Panthers.
Yeah, I went Philly as well. I really like Philly in this game. It's just, I don't believe in this Green Bay team. I don't believe that they are as good as their record shows they are. They've won a lot of weird close games, and they've lost to a lot of bad teams. Or not a lot, but their losses are to bad teams.
And a tie.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess your argument, if you're a Packers fan, could be, we only show up for good teams, but still, like, you can't. I don't know.
You're at home.
I just ain't seen enough of them to even have confidence, or to even, in my opinion, to understand why they're favorites. Because I honestly would. I mean, obviously, I would take a Philly straight up, but I mean, I might move the line even to their side by like 4.5 to 5.5.
Why not? Unless you just think weather's not going to be a lot of points in general. But Alexander, when Aaron Rodgers got hurt for the Packers and Jordan Love had to come in against the Eagles, and he was just throwing the ball all over the place, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? That's the last time I was scared of Jordan Love. Okay, his first appearance subbing in for Rodgers. We called him out last week. We said he's not real. Can we stop with the top 5 MVP talks? Jordan Love getting praised for being amazing. Have we ever been more right than what we saw in the game against the Panthers this week? And we're going to see it again. Okay, we don't know who our second cornerback is. It doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. But it doesn't matter for this game. Okay, we'll figure it out. We're going to be fine. I am so excited to watch the Eagles play. Bye weeks are great for the teams, but I miss watching this team play football. And we got to wait all the way until March. So, are we being too biased, everybody? Are the Eagles going to get embarrassed? Are y'all going to all send me the clip afterwards like you did with the Giants, you cowards? But, again, divisional game doesn't count. All right, Alexander, please tell the people what they need to be looking at in this matchup or anything else you just want to discuss. We've got about 35 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be looking at Saquon Barkley. I think he has a big game in this one. But outside of that, we just need to discuss why the heck last week the Eagles were off. We saw more tush pushes across the league, and there's nobody like just bad mouthing it at all last week. Like, is it just bad when the Eagles do it? It's just not okay for the Eagles to do it. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, and again, the team that proposed for it to be banned, Green Bay Packers. I would get fired as a head coach, obviously, but I would love first play, just tush push against the Packers. I mean, you want to talk about just creating hostility from the jump.
I say do it on 3 downs. Pick up the first. I think we could do it.
Well, you've seen the clip, and, shouts out to our editing team, but that we put out before the year of Jordan Love trying to do it, and he just falls down. It's like, that's why these teams that can't do it, but like the Bills voting to ban it, but then doing it more than anyone. Josh Allen has more quarterback sneak, tush push, whatever, Buffalo bump, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just, it's so overplayed, and like I know I'm fitting into it now, but first play, dude, just
that would be hype.
Yeah, they won't do it though.
They won't? You sure? I could see Sirianni being like, "Hey, run this play."
If there's like a situation where it was, but if it's just opening kickoff, Eagles getting the ball, I don't think.
I would. Screw it.
Yeah, I know we would, and that's why we're going to be sitting watching it, and he's going to be there coaching because he's like, this doesn't give us the best chance here. Or they do fake tush push first drive.
First play, fake tush push.
First play would be hype, but like first drive where it's close, it's like 2nd and 4, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're lining up for this far away. You remember last year when we did the fake tush push for a pass, and people weren't watching and didn't even remember it? Like 3.
Yeah, they thought it was so new because we did it this year.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, go Birds.
Go Birds, baby.
Good luck, everybody. We hope that you all choose the ones we got right and don't hold us accountable for the ones we got wrong.
Don't ride with me on my Pick City picks of the week. I'm cold right now.
Ride with me. It's got to turn at some point. I'm over 500. That's all that matters. We're so bad. All right, see you, everybody.
Doses.
Bro, in all seriousness, there's no chance the Eagles lose this game. Like, you can put that on my tombstone.